Hey, do you find yourself often staring at that beautiful girl across the room, wondering what you've got to do to get her? How do you talk to her? How do you get her? How do you make her yours? Well, I'm going to address exactly that problem today here on Core of Confidence. Hey man, David here with Core of Confidence, and want to answer the question today about staring and clamoring for that beautiful girl, that one beautiful girl, that hot girl across the room. She could be a hostess at a place that you go to, a bartender, a waitress, or just a particular girl. Maybe she works at a particular store, but even just there's that girl that you see when you're out and about and you may never see her again. Maybe it's a lot of different women, right? And this is painful for all guys that go through this, and especially painful for you if you're successful, right, in your career, in your business, and you want to be able to share your life with the right girl, but you can't work up the courage or the confidence to talk to her. And then, even then, you don't even know if she'll be attracted to you and how to get her, right? When you know you've got it going on, you're a good guy, you're the full package in these other areas, and yet you just don't have it going on with the ladies. So here's where we got to start, right? We got to start with the mind. We got to start with the mindset. Now, as you have heard me talk about in other videos, we're conditioned to relish that woman based on her beauty, right? A lot of society is based on that. We're conditioned that way. They're conditioned that way. The women are, the beautiful hot women that you want, and they're given a lot of power, right? But then they're given too much power because in a lot of cases, the women don't want it in the sense that they're not happy because they have all these guys hitting on them and ogling them and, this and that. Now, they get stuff out of it, but also there's just so many lame, creepy, weird guys staring at them, hitting on them, etc., and so forth. Now, I'm not saying you can't appreciate the beauty of a woman. You can and you should. But from what I've learned in my path and what has helped me so much is we have to flip it around, right? We have to be the hot one. We have to be the attractive one. We have to be that. And the reason is also because attraction for women is not based on looks, thank God, for men, the same way it is based for men. Primarily, of course, it's not the whole kit and caboodle, it's not the whole package, but baseline it works that way, right? Confidence, behavioral stuff, social proof, all these things play into attraction for women to men, and of course, beauty is that first thing for men. It just is. It's just in there, just biological, whatnot. So we have to start reconditioning the mind. And that means you also have to unhook the fact that she's so beautiful. You have to see past the beauty, right? You can acknowledge and appreciate it, but if you're looking at women and go, oh, I've got to have her because she's beautiful, and you get all scared, there's no reason you should be scared of a woman because she's beautiful and give her all that power. And in fact, the guy that she's going to be with is not going to be the guy that does that. Or he's a guy that hides it very well, right? Or he's used to being around hot women, but you want to be the guy who's used to it and it's no big deal. Okay, so you have to start thinking this other way, right? If anything, you're on the pedestal. Now, this isn't about being better than another human being, whether she's a woman or a man or blah, 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 right? And saying, I'm better than other guys because I think this way. It's not about that. It's sort of a psychological projection trick reframe. And I also call this reality distortion, which is something that is talked about that Steve Jobs very often used to get hit really difficult deadlines with his teams at Apple, and I think Next as well even, but certainly at Apple. And there was, it's impossible, you can't do that. It's the same thing here, okay? For whatever reason, as human beings, it really works between our relationships that the one with the strongest frame of reality, the belief system, is the one that dominates and wins. That's why you can also see unattractive guys with really hot girls. Now, if your reality is so strong that women just want the money and women just want the looks, then your reality is so strong in it, you will tend to filter for that in your reality. And the way you'll show up in your vibe will not attract the beautiful women because your vibe is all based on, oh, all women just want looks and I'm not good looking enough and and that'll, it'll come across as angry and push them away, or come across as needy. Usually if you're, desperate and needy for the women, you might think some of that stuff, but not in an angry way, right? You won't think in an angry way about how women are only after looks and money, because they're not. There are certain women that are primarily driven by looks and money, but those are in very small categories, right, based on those things. There are gold diggers out there, of course, as well. But the problem is when women do get with men that have a lot of money, they only value them for the money and they don't value them sexually or attractive wise or personality wise, and that's a real problem. There are plenty of creepy rich guys out there that deal with that, and they're really pissed off and frustrated. And I'm talking hundreds of millions, billions, tens of millions, whatever, okay? So that's not the solution. Money. Should you go out and make money and be successful in your career? Absolutely. And those guys on here of you that are listening to that as well, I know how painful this can be because you get exactly what I'm talking about, and that's what I love helping guys like you with, especially. So that's my advice. You got to start flipping that mindset over, seeing it unhooking from the beauty means everything and the beauty is going to intimidate me and powerful and how do I get her? Actually, if you look around, beauty is actually a dime a dozen. It's a wonderful thing. It's a dime a dozen. There's a lot of beauty to enjoy and be appreciative for in the world. But we've got to unhook that this beauty, that her hotness means all that much, especially if we want to be on the level and date and interact with, be in relationships with these hotter and more beautiful women. Okay? That's my advice for today. I hope it helps, and we'll talk to you in the next video. We're done.